In this video, we're going to look at topic 89, example 6, use nth roots to solve problems. So this is our final example for this section. We have one cube-shaped container has an edge length 2 centimeters longer than the edge length of a second cube. The volume of the larger cube is 729 centimeters cubed. When the larger cube empties into the smaller cube, how much water will spill? Okay, so we're looking at cubes. The volume for a cube, so the volume is equal to the side cubed. Okay, so we would do, it's basically length times width times height, right? But in a cube, all the sides are the same, length, width, and height are all the same. So volume is equal to, we'll say, the side length cubed. So what we want to take is, we're going to have we know the volume of the larger cube. So let's say 729 is equal to, we're going to say that the smaller cube side, so smaller cube side is just going to be S. I don't want to use S. I'm going to use X. And the larger cube, I don't quite know how to spell here. Their larger cube side would be X plus 2. So this piece here, our formula, would be 729, the volume of the larger cube. So remember, this is the larger one. 729 is equal to X plus 2 cubed. So we know to undo an exponent of 3, we can take the cube root of each side. So we're going to do that. So we take the cube root of 729 would be equal to the cube root of X plus 2 cubed. Okay, so on this right side, the cube root cancels out the exponent of 3, so we just have X plus 2. And if we use our calculators, we take the cube root. So math option 4, 729. This is one of the common ones, so you'll probably get quite familiar with this number. It would be 9. We took a odd index, so we don't need to worry about positives and negatives. And then here, the last step to solve this would be quite easy. So x would be equal to 7. Now, like most word problems, we need to be quite careful with what that number tells us and what it represents, and if we've actually answered the question. Remember that the x equals 7, this is the side of the smaller cube. So we don't want to think that that 7 goes with the larger cube. It is with the smaller one. So the volume of the smaller cube, we don't know that. We know the volume of the larger cube is 729. So the volume of the larger cube is 729. The volume of the smaller cube is going to be 7 cubed, which would be equal to, I always forget this one, 343. Okay, so the volume of the larger cube is 729. The volume of the smaller cube is the 7 cubed. That x value, right, the 7, we'll put it here. Okay, and that's the statement about the volume, but that's not the question that they asked. It doesn't answer it. It says when the larger cube empties into the smaller cube, how much water will spill out? So to figure that out, we would have to do 729 minus 343, because that smaller cube is only going to be able to hold 343, let's say centimeters cubed, I think, yeah, centimeters. So 729 minus 343 will be 386. So the question, when the larger cube empties into the smaller cube, how much water will spill? You would spill 386 cubic centimeters of water. Okay. So again, as always with word problems, make sure you answer the question. A lot of times, once we solve for a variable, we're tempted to stop and just say, oh, x equals 7, we're done. But we do need to actually answer the question. All right, the other two examples, the triads that have to do with this, are quite similar. They're just talking about volume for cube lengths, and you're just comparing them. So you shouldn't have too much difficulty with those, as long as you're careful and take your time. All right, that's it for topic 89, and hopefully you have a pretty good understanding by now.